Hello everyone, Taylor of Rejuve Medical Fitness. Today I'm going to be taking you through mindfulness and core activation. So mindfulness is the practice of being very present with what's happening currently, and I'd like us to practice today putting mindfulness and exercise together. So we're going to first do that and practice that by activating the core muscles, okay? You probably hear core activation a lot, core engagement, all of those kinds of terms. And a lot of the times we're not really sure what that exactly means, but I'm going to try to give you kind of a way to do it that makes hopefully a little more sense. So to activate the core, I'd like you to take your fingers first of all, find your belly button, and then find your hip bones. And I'd like you to go in between those 2 points, digging in the fingers a little bit. So then I'd like you to imagine pulling your belly button in towards your spine, and almost like you're holding your pee, you feel like you're pulling in there as well. Once you have that, it should feel quite tight in the abdominal muscles here. You should feel like your fingers are being pulled inwards a little bit. Okay, so we'll try that once again. You're gonna breathe in, pulling in through the belly button, holding your pee, and good, release. So hopefully, once you've practiced that a little bit, you should be able to consciously activate your core even while you are talking. So it's not just a breath hold and then you release your core as soon as your breath is done. You should be able to activate your core muscles even when you're talking. Exactly the same way, belly button in. Perfect. So core activation is really important. Your core should really be activating with almost every exercise you do. I know there's a lot of great exercises for training the core specifically, like, your bicycle crunches or your ab twists. There's a lot of good ways to train the core, but realistically, we should be activating the core with almost every single movement we do. We need to be able to stabilize our base, our core, in order to do a lot of movements. So I can show you what I mean by that. If we take some bands here and we do a bicep curl, when I say bicep curl, a lot of people probably don't think that's really much of a core exercise at all, but we do actually have to activate our core. So before we do this lift here, we're going to practice pulling the belly button in once again, tightening through the core, and then tightening our muscles. So before I even lift, my muscles, my biceps are tense, then I'm going to do my lift. Once again, tightening through the core muscles, tightening the biceps, making a nice connection with those bicep muscles. This is called the mind-muscle connection. So being very conscious and present with the muscle that you're working, and then going into your curl. So this is actually a lot more of an effective way to train your muscles when you're able to form that connection of what you're actually working. It makes that exercise a lot more effective. It also takes away the momentum swing, where we're not actually feeling those muscles working. So tightening, lifting, feeling the tension in that muscle, feeling it working, and releasing. I'll show you that with another couple movements here. So an overhead press. Your core is really important when you're doing any overhead movement. You have to stabilize your base in order to put something above your head. So before we lift anything, we engage our core, pulling the belly button in, tightening the muscles of the shoulder here, and then pressing above head. You'll notice actually that a lot of people injure their shoulders when they don't activate the core with this movement. So you can actually prevent a lot of injuries by stabilizing your base more and then going into your shoulder press rather than just wildly swinging everything up. You're more likely to be injured when you forget to tighten and tighten before doing your movement. Just like that. I'll show you guys one more and I'll let you go. We're going to go into a deadlift with the bands here. So another really important one is bracing the core when you're coming up from a position like this. So I should be able to pull my belly button in towards my spine, really imagine my back staying nice and straight, tensing the muscles before I lift, and then straightening up. And this is going to allow me to keep that straight back as I'm lifting up. If we forget to engage our core, we're going to be more likely to get a back around like that, and that's when an injury would happen. So back straight, get that little bit of tension, engage the core, lifting up, lifting back down. And if you're just getting used to this, once again, you can breathe in, brace the core, lift, breathe out as you come back down. Once again, breathing in, lifting, breathing out as you come back down, keeping that straight back the entire time. So in this way, we're able to put kind of mindfulness and exercise together and make it almost meditative. So it's a way we can really focus on what we're doing with our exercise and make it a lot more effective. So I have a couple challenges for you guys. We're going to now practice activating our core in a couple of specific positions. All right, so the first one we're going to try out is a trunk rotation, reaching up and reaching back. So before we even do a twist or anything, our core should be tight, right? We should be sucking in through our belly button, pretending we have to pee, holding it in, and then into the rotation with our trunk. And you should feel like those core muscles are getting extra tight. They're tightening once, and then as we rotate, they're getting extra tight. Once again, tightening. You can even breathe in, breathing out as you come back to neutral. Breathing in, tightening, breathing back out. Perfect. The next one I'd like you guys to try is with your hands up like this. We're going to raise one knee and rotate and crunch together. So before we do any rotation, even before we lift our leg, tightening through the core, pulling the belly button in, then lift, and then extra tight as you turn. Once again, tightening, lifting, twisting. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Perfect. And we've got one more for you guys. This is an extra challenging one. So we're going to practice activating our core as we go through a full trunk circle here. So this one's going to be very challenging because we want to brace our core as we are getting down to this low position here. Our core, this is the most important part where our core needs to be tight in order to keep our back straight. So I'd like you just to start in this position. You can have your hands up or you can have your hands on your core, but just think about pulling the belly button in, really tightening those abdominal muscles, and then releasing. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, tightening, breathing out. Once you feel ready, you're going to go into this position here. We're going to breathe in, tighten the core. Breathing out, breathing in. Trying to keep that back nice and straight. As you get better at this, you don't have to do as pronounced of a breath, and you should just automatically tighten the core as you're getting down into that unstable position. Really important to engage the core when you're in a position like this because we want to keep that back nice and straight. One more. Very nicely done. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you liked the video, make sure you give it a like and feel free to subscribe as well. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.